Okay, first drive impressions of that one. 2019 1000R Maverick Sport. Don't have a lot of experience other than driving that one quite a bit. That's a Maverick Trail 1000 2018. Absolute kick in the ass. This isn't downplaying this trail at all, because you will not go wrong with one of these. The only reason we decided to get that one, the Sport, was we didn't see a lot of need out in what we do for the 50-incher. The Sport is 60 inches. So we never really came across something in this that said, oh man, I'm so glad we were in a 50, because, you know, like 2 fence posts or 2 rocks or 2 trees that were 51 inches wide, and we couldn't have made it through with that. So we decided to get that. The Sport runs, that was 17.9. I think these are 14.9. So both have power steering. It's up to you whether the $3,000 is worth the 2 inches of wheel travel and ground clearance and 25 horsepower. To us, it was. So the first thing you notice driving this compared to that is the exhaust sound. It's much lower, not necessarily louder, it's just lower. It has a bigger exhaust pipe, and it really sounds good when you let off the throttle and you come to a stop. It has a nice little burble. I'd almost compare it to, not as good as, but it kind of reminded me of a Ducati. That kind of low burble. It's not that good, but where that kind of sounds like a sewing machine, this actually has some real kind of guttural noise. Sounds really good. Driving it around here, a lot of the trails are rocky. So the first thing you notice is you don't feel the rocks. And that has a lot to do with the size of the tires. They really absorb the rocks. You don't feel the small rocks as much. That handles them just fine, but you feel them more. The shocks are on the setting we got from the factory. They look like they're about right in the middle, but you don't feel the little rocks. And the second thing you notice is that you don't hear the rocks hitting the undercarriage of the body. And that is due in large part to the 60-inch width. The tires aren't under the body. So it's not a bad thing. It doesn't hurt anything. You just notice that this is going over rocks and throwing the rocks underneath, and you hear it bouncing underneath, where that doesn't really happen. So that's the 3 things, and you can tell, especially in sport mode, that there's another 25 horsepower in there. Although we're still breaking that in, we took it easy. You can definitely tell there's more there. So first initial drive, sound is deeper. You don't feel the rocks, and you don't hear the rocks. But they're very similar driving. You can definitely tell you're higher in that one. You're sitting up higher, it's higher off the ground, and kind of gives you more confidence knowing you have an extra 10 inches of width on those wheels. But you're not going to go wrong with that. It's an absolute kick in the ass. This is just comparison to the 2. So if you're shopping and you're thinking, food for thought. Thanks for listening.